This is an ABC News special report. Now reporting, George Stephanopoulos.
Good day. We're coming on the air right now because the governor of New York is about to give a briefing on a series of explosive devices that have been sent to prominent public figures, including the homes of President Obama and President Clinton. You see the map right there. This began on Monday, a bomb to the home of George Soros in Westchester County, New York. On Tuesday, a bomb addressed to Hillary Clinton to the Clintons' home in Chappaqua. Wednesday morning, a bomb intercepted being sent to President Obama. That is the police commissioner of New York, James O'Neill. Let's listen in.
So today, the NYPD and all of our law enforcement partners responded to reports of a suspicious package at CNN. Our intel, emergency services, and Patrol Borough Manhattan South responded immediately, secured the area, and began a search of the building. Responding officers identified a device that appeared to be a live explosive device. NYPD bomb squad responded, secured the device, and removed it for investigation. Additionally, there was an envelope containing white powder that was discovered as part of that original packaging, and we're in the middle of investigating that right now. The area has been swept with dogs and equipment and found no additional threats besides the white powder. And working with our law enforcement partners, we responded swiftly to secure the scene. NYPD is currently deploying resources around the city out of abundance of caution. If anyone sees something that looks suspicious, please call 911. Anyone with information about this incident today or about incidents in the New York area, please call 1-888 New York City Safe. We've seen this before, and we've seen worse, and we will not be intimidated, and we will bring these perpetrators to justice. Mr. Mayor?
Thank you very much, Commissioner. What we saw here today was an effort to terrorize. This clearly is an act of terror, attempting to undermine our free press and leaders of this country through acts of violence. I want to make very clear that the people of New York City will not be intimidated, that we're going to go about our lives undeterred, because the very concept of terrorism is to change us, and we will not allow that to happen. You cannot be terrorized if you refuse to allow the terrorists to win. People of this city have shown time and again that they stand up in the face of these efforts to intimidate. And I want to thank the people of New York City for the way they're handling this situation today. I also want to thank our first responders. Commissioner, to you and all the men and women of the NYPD, thank you for your extraordinary efforts today. To FDNY, Office of Emergency Management, our state partners, our federal partners, everyone worked swiftly to address this situation and contain it. I also want to commend everyone at CNN for the professionalism with which they handled this very troubling incident. We, at this time, do not have other credible and specific threats against locations in New York City. I want to let all New Yorkers know you can go about your daily routine knowing the NYPD and all these other agencies are here to protect you. It's important to note that this is an ongoing investigation. As we have more information, we will provide it. But I emphasize there is no specific threat against any other location in this city at this time. That said, the NYPD and all of our partners have reinforced our very clear, visible presence at key media locations around New York City and other important locations. So you will see a lot more police presence. That should be reassuring to all New Yorkers. Finally, I want to say this is a very painful time in our nation. It's a time when people are feeling a lot of hatred in the air. And incidents like this exacerbate that pain and exacerbate that fear. We cannot let the acts of a very few change who we are. It's really important at a moment like this to remember the vast majority of Americans, the vast majority of New Yorkers are good people trying to live in peace with each other. There are a few people, we don't know who they are today, but there are a few people trying to tear us apart through acts of violence. It is imperative that we ensure they fail. It is imperative that we act as the good and decent people that we are. This is a moment in history that's painful, but it will pass. This too shall pass. But today, the important point is everyone can rest assured the NYPD and all other agencies are out in force to protect the people of this city and to make sure that they can go about their lives safely. Thank you. Governor Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioner. First, let's remember that we have the best police force and the best law enforcement agencies on the globe. And we want to thank the NYPD and the state police and the FBI and the Joint Terrorism Task Force, the Secret Service, all who have worked seamlessly together and are coordinated. And we should take comfort in that level of professionalism that we have in this city and in this state. As everyone is aware, there have been a number of packages that have been received. Last night, there was the Secret Service detected a package at the residence of President Clinton and Hillary Rodham Clinton. They notified the state police and the NYPD. We personally checked on the president's residence in Chappaqua at about 4:30 this morning, and everything was fine there. This morning, obviously, we have the CNN package, and I want to echo the professionalism with which CNN has handled the situation and the cooperation that they brought to the situation. So I would like to thank them for that. This is the world we live in. Terrorism, the attempt to spread fear, is the world that we live in. It is heightened lately. The mayor is exactly right. There are more tensions than usual, but this is the world we live in. Also, a little perspective. The first terrorist attack in New York City was 1993, 25 years ago, was the bombing of the World Trade Center. So in some ways, this is nothing new. We have lived with this for a long time. Actually, my father was governor at that time. This has been a circumstance of being who we are and where we are. We are New York, and we are an international icon, and for some, we're an international target. Terrorism only works if you let it work.
Amen.
What they are trying to do is scare us and destabilize us, and we will not allow that to happen. We are New Yorkers. We are smart. We are tough, we are resilient, and we will not allow these terrorist thugs to change the way we live our lives. They fail unless we allow them to win, and we will not allow them to win. Now, as the commissioner said, you'll see increased police presence from the NYPD, from the state police, from the MTA police, from the Port Authority police. You shouldn't be alarmed. There'll be more police on subways, more police on the streets, more police.
There you have it. Governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, along with the mayor of New York City, the police commissioner of New York City, reporting on a series of explosive devices sent to multiple locations across the country, including the CNN headquarters in New York. I want to show you a picture of the bomb that was sent to CNN, the explosive device that was sent to CNN this morning. You see it right there, addressed to John Brennan, President Obama's former director of intelligence in the White House. Similar devices, it appears, were sent to the homes of President Clinton in Chappaqua, New York, addressed to Hillary Rodham Clinton, sent to President Obama in Washington, D.C., intercepted before it got to the home. These follow an explosive device that was sent to the home of billionaire philanthropist George Soros in Katona, New York on Monday. We now have reports as well. The suspicious packages were sent to former Attorney General Eric Holder. He was President Obama's Attorney General, and the former chair of the Democratic National Committee, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Interestingly, the return address on some of the packages was Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Authorities, of course, believe that she did not send those packages. I want to bring in our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, for more on all this. All hands on deck right now. Secret Service, ATF, Justice Department, all investigating.
The FBI, everyone is involved, George, and even though we don't yet know how destructive these devices potentially were, I can tell you this is being treated with extreme urgency. Law enforcement officials comparing these devices so far, they have photographs, obviously, as you can see. They also, because they were not detonated initially, they can look at what kind of detonator was potentially involved. So there's a lot of work being done right now, but it's very unusual, the sources tell me, that these potential devices were sent to multiple locations. As you said, the former Secretary of State, former President of the United States, billionaire, and now potentially CNN as well, George.
Yeah, Pierre, former presidents and former presidents get threats every single day, but to have bombs sent to two former presidents within 24 hours, I've never heard of it before.
Exactly, and that's why law enforcement officials are operating at an extremely high tempo. Again, FBI, Secret Service, U.S. Postal Service, all involved, trying to figure out who sent these devices and do it quickly, George.
Okay, I want to bring in Gio Benitez at the Time Warner Center in New York. Gio, we saw that bomb that was sent to CNN. Alerts went out to all their employees immediately.
Yeah, that's right, George. That device was actually sent to the mailroom. It went to the mailroom. That's where it was spotted. And then they ended up going ahead and evacuating the floor right above the mailroom and under the mailroom. And so also the CNN newsroom was also evacuated at that time. And so when we got here, we saw that there was a containment truck already in place here with the NYPD bomb squad. And you know what? We have to go ahead and go back for a second.
Okay, thank you, Gio. I know they're continuing the press conference right there in New York. In the meantime, Cecilia Vega at the White House, the president has been briefed.
He has, George. In fact, the White House says that he is taking the situation very seriously. He has been briefed on this suspicious package situation. Let me show you this tweet right there. This is what we've heard directly from the president himself. I agree wholeheartedly. He's there repeating, or he's retweeting the vice president's tweet. The vice president says these cowardly actions are despicable and have no place in this country. This is a sentiment that we've heard echoed throughout the administration. The press secretary also tweeted something similar, saying our condemnation of these despicable acts certainly includes threats made to CNN. She also goes on to mention President Obama, President Clinton, and Secretary Clinton, and the other public figures. But frankly, George, we are still waiting to hear more from the president himself. He doesn't have any public events until later this afternoon, so we stand by and just wait to hear what he's got to say.
We will stand by all afternoon. Cecilia Vega, thanks very much. Our coverage is going to continue online now at abcnews.com. Again, a series of explosive devices sent to prominent public figures across the country, including two former presidents. We'll have a full report tonight on World News Tonight with David Muir. Have a good afternoon.
This has been a special report from ABC News.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.